this is something I watched happen, and what and when I first read about it, I didn't believe. I really didn't believe what was going on. Like earlier in the week, there was social media. Social media was flooded with reports of this guy named Roosh V. I can't pronounce his real name, and quite frankly, he doesn't deserve that respect. Yeah, that's an opinion from a journalist. He the things that he advocates are a little disturbing. He, for one, wants to legalize rape around the world in private on private property. He advocates that men should be able to rape women in private property and will teach women how to not get raped. Like, this is his philosophy. It doesn't make any sense. And then he was promoting, actually, it was supposed to be today, but after the backlash, he was promoting a international gathering for people of his philosophy. It's been debated whether it was to talk about getting rape legalized around the world or not. It probably was. If you read certain things about him, I don't feel the need to give him the benefit of the doubt there. It probably was. But after backlash from tons and tons of people online and anonymous getting involved, he claims there were threats made against his life and his followers' lives. He canceled the event. Then a couple of days ago, he called 911 and he was called on. A picture was taken of him outside of his mom's home where he lives in the basement. So I'm not gonna make fun of anyone's life situation, but it does seem a little interesting that a man who, in a couple seconds I'll read some of his thoughts on women, who has this superiority complex over women that he would actually be living with his mom. It just seems so unbelievable that he even would do that. And it's extremely hypocritical when you think so lowly of women. Like, it's disturbing that this guy conflates masculinity. Well, he links masculinity with rape. Like, what? It's just reading some of his things, and I'm pulling up some of his common beliefs for what he calls his group of followers and people, Return of Kings, and that the tribes and people like one of his ideas is that he's upset that today's women make men groom, like why they have to shave and bathe and all this stuff because women need men to basically look like women in his point of view. Because hygiene's not a thing. Because we haven't learned over centuries that hygiene's actually important, and if you don't bathe, you can get easily preventable diseases, and just not a thing. Hygiene's not important. Like brushing your teeth, he's mad that he has to brush his teeth. Like I all these things that he's published and put out there. It's like, you know what happens when you don't brush your teeth for a long period of time, right? Your teeth kind of go away. But whatever. As you'll see right now, he doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, some of his common beliefs are, for one of his beliefs are that men will opt out of monogamy and reproduction if there are no incentives to engage in them. I don't know, reproduction kind of keeps the species alive, and whatever. And he says past traditions and rituals that evolved alongside humanity served as a net benefit to the family unit. Not even sure what that means, but if he's talking about dominant male, submissive female, you can definitely make arguments that does not have a net benefit to the family unit. definitely doesn't have a net benefit to the societal unit or the social politic or community as a whole, because back in the time period he's probably speaking of, women didn't work and were not part of the economy. And if you look at countries in the Middle East where women do not work, those countries are impoverished. Well, yeah, there's a problem when 50% of your population doesn't work. Your economy is not going to be good. That's going to hurt the family unit, and the only people that's going to make happy are really insecure men like yourself. But that's not even the worst thing he says here. He says this is probably the one that really makes me. It's a little weird. And it's just like, how do you even think this? A woman's value significantly depends on her fertility and beauty. That's it. That it's a period after, like, there's no other anything there after that about that. A woman's value significantly depends on her fertility and beauty. If you're talking about a grand scheme of things, fertility and the species, yes, but if one woman isn't fertile, is the species going to die out? No. So I don't think you can value someone on that, a woman on that either. There's definitely more things women can do than, have children. There's more to society than that. There's, something about a brain. But in beauty, is like this guy, if you see a picture of this guy talking about someone's beauty, is a little funny. But he goes on, and this is what he says about men. A man's value significantly depends on his resources, intellect, and character. So women can only be vehicles to give birth to children and to look at, while a man is judged by his fame, his material things, his brain, and who he is as a person. Like, really? Like, these are things he puts out to other people to read. Like, this guy has lots of followers. People believe this Return of King stuff, and they follow him, and they read his articles about how to basically get away with rape, and how to fight back if a woman says, like, I can't, like, it really still is hard to believe that this guy is serious. I mean, on one of his articles, that after all this went down, he posted over the top of it that this is just satire. Really, he's posted so many books and everything that this is satire. There's no journal, and he's blamed a lot of journalists for saying, like, the media journalists are just lying about me. It's like, no, man, you published a lot of books. It's really not difficult to see how you think. It's all online. It's all online. You put it all out there. You put it in books. It's not difficult to see. And he's also said things, well, this one's a little humorous that's coming from him. Socialism, feminism, cultural Marxism, and social justice warriorism, fighting for social justice, is a bad thing. I've always wondered why conservatives use that as an insult. Fighting for social justice is a bad thing. Okay, whatever. And he continues after that. Aims to destroy the family unit, decrease the fertility rate, and impoverish the state through large welfare entitlements. So now he's trying to get into political science and trying to be a politician here. And clearly he doesn't understand. For one, he doesn't understand socialism, feminism. I guess you could. Cultural Marxism. Interesting choice of term there for that. But he's clearly a conservative thinker, even though I did read a very disturbing article about him from a conservative quote-unquote journalist that decided to conflate him with being Muslim, and I couldn't find anything about him being Muslim, but this quote-unquote journalist decided to say that this was a Muslim problem and that he was doing this because he was Muslim and Islam's causing this, and there's nothing to back that up at all. No journalist would ever say that. And that was a little disturbing because you're missing the point. He's a bad person. There's bad people of every religion. He's a horrible human being. Actually, there's enough there that you don't have to go and throw in red meat for conservatives that already dislike Muslims. Like, that completely unnecessary. There's enough about this guy to dislike already. And he just goes on and on about all these things. There's like so many groups that come out against him, and Anti-Defamation League and Southern Poverty Law Center. Just Canada's trying to kick him out. He's bragged about raping girls in his books. It's sad and pathetic. Like, this guy is like, he's just sad and pathetic. It makes all men look bad, to be honest with you, that this guy actually exists, and he thinks he's justified. He's now playing the victim because he's getting called out for all of this. He's playing the victim. A guy who brags about rape is pretending to be a victim. You have to be so far gone mentally to even believe the own garbage coming out of your mouth, if you really believe this. I mean, Greg Abbott, very, very, very conservative governor of Texas, even came out and said that this guy is disturbing, disgusting. He needs to not come anywhere near the state of Texas because there was some, things. There was a couple of events planned on this big event he was putting together to be in Texas, and it's the more you read about him, the more you dislike, and the more he seems like some evil movie villain, because he thinks he's perfect. He thinks he's God's gift to women, and when in actuality, he's probably a very insecure, lonely human being who thinks the only way he can make himself feel better is to subjugate women to basically being his servants. And it's sad, it's disturbing,